Ever wondered what elevates a great Scrum Master above the rest? It's not just a robust tool set, a diverse skill set, or even a resilient mindset alone. It's the masterful integration of all three. This trinity of the sets is the secret sauce that turns good into great, average into exceptional, and ultimately becoming legendary. Welcome to Mastery Millionaires, episode number 2, Expand Your Agile Sets. We're going to deep dive into the strategic blend that catapults Scrum Masters to the top of their game and give yourself a 100% raise potentially. Welcome to the Scrumcademy Podcast, where we're not just participating in Agile, we are leading the change. I am your host, Grand Scrum Master Scott, and after laying the groundwork with our first episode, Specialize and Certify, hopefully you got some ideas in terms of what area, what sector of Scrum and Agile that you want to specialize in, and you're honing in on that to figure out where is my superpower, where am I going to specialize in. And then the other thing from episode 1 was, are there any certifications out there that I can confirm my knowledge of this particular thing, whatever that may be, whether it's AWS, Amazon Web Services, whether it's DevOps, DevSecOps, whatever that may be in terms of what you're deciding to pursue up underneath the entire Agile umbrella. Very nice. Now, in this episode, number 2, Expand Your Agile Sets, we explore how balancing and enhancing your mindset, skill set, and tool set can transform you from being a competent Scrum Master to an indispensable Agile expert. I like to call it Scrumpreneur. If you pause to push beyond the conventional, this episode will definitely chart your course and give you another step towards giving yourself a 100% raise. To begin with, let's do an introduction of the sets. Let's define what they are. We have mindset, we have tool set, and we have skill set. Let's begin with mindset. And the way I'm giving them to you are, in my opinion, are the order of importance. The product backlog is ordered. So the most important thing is at the top, right? Exactly. So the way I'm going to deliver this to you is, in my opinion, these are the order in which you should look at it from most important to least important. So let's start off with the mindset. First of all, let's create an operational definition of what a mindset is. Mindset are the underlying beliefs and attitudes that shape how you and I, Scrum Masters, approach our role and challenges that may come up. Let me give you some common examples, things that you may have heard in your life that you probably didn't think about it as a mindset. Here's a very popular one. Is your glass half full or is your glass half empty? That is a mindset. Here's another one for you. Every problem is an opportunity in disguise. That is a problem-solving mindset. Here's another one for you. You missed 100% of the shots you do not take. Famous quote by Mr. Wayne Gretzky. This is a proactive and risk-taking mindset. Very nice. Now, here's a popular one in the Agile community. You might have heard of this one. Fail fast, fail often. You mean it's okay to make mistakes in Scrum and Agile? Yeah. That is a growth mindset. It's okay to make mistakes in this space? Yeah. Now let me pause there and give you an example of how this mindset may be shaping how you deliver, how this underlying belief and attitude shape how we approach our role, challenges, and obstacles that may come up. Here's an example for you. I am a recovered perfectionist. So as a perfectionist, when I was a perfectionist, fail fast and fail often? Oh, no. What? That don't make no sense. No. Yeah, that was a huge challenge for me when I came over to Scrum and Agile. I'm a project manager and I'm a perfectionist on top of that. Mm, Pretty bad combination in terms of coming over to Agile and, embracing the mindset here. Oh, total opposite, right? Exactly. So as a perfectionist, I did everything I could do to not make a mistake. And now I'm in an environment where mistakes are embraced. Mistakes are going to happen. We all know that, right? Mistakes are going to happen. And wow, that wasn't normal for me. It's like even growing up as a child, when I played sports, I was taught that failing is not winning. Failing is bad. What about you? Did you come up that way? When you played sports, and if you didn't win, it's either W or L. Win or lose. But in Scrum and Agile, we still have W and L, but the L doesn't mean lose. We have win. We delivered something at the end of the sprint. And we have learn. What did we learn? No losses, just learnings. So yeah, I had to reprogram my brain to embrace them. Yeah, it was tough. That was a tough one. So for those of you who come from project management, you might be asking me the question of, Scott, what was the toughest thing? What was your biggest obstacle, biggest challenge in terms of coming from project management over to Agile and Scrum? Embracing fail fast and fail often. Embracing the fact that failure is an opportunity for us to get better and it's not a bad thing. So I just had to change my mindset. All right. Just making sure y'all with me. Now, regarding Agile, we have the Agile Manifesto of software development. That is our mindset in the Agile space, in the Agile world, in the Agile sphere. As we look at those 4 values and those 12 principles, we should be thinking about those things in every aspect of what we're doing up underneath the Agile umbrella. Scrum falls up underneath the Agile umbrella, as well as a lot of other things. We have Kanban, we have Crystal, we have extreme programming, test-driven development, behavior-driven development, a whole slew of things that's up underneath the Agile methodology umbrella. Scrum is just a piece of that. It is the most used, it is the most popular for sure, but there are a lot of other things up underneath the Agile umbrella. Now, the Agile Manifesto is the overall mindset. For sake of giving you a visual, if you will, there are some sub-mindsets, which I'm thinking about principle number 12 in the manifesto. At regular intervals, we're going to inspect and adapt our behavior and continuously improve. I'm thinking about that one. That one is a growth mindset. I'm thinking about adaptability is a subset of the Agile overall mindset. I'm thinking about collaboration is a mindset. Instead of me trying to do everything myself, how about we take it to the team and let the team decide? Okay, that was different from coming from project management world, because for the most part, I made a decision. I talked to a lot of people, but ultimately, I made a decision. Whereas in Scrum, we collaborate and we want consensus. That was another way that was different for me in terms of mindset. And another mindset up underneath the Agile Manifesto I'm thinking about is we want to embrace change. Now, when I was a project manager, we had a change management plan, but did we embrace change like we do in Agile? The answer from my experiences is no. Scrum is founded on the idea of lean methodology, right? Lean is up underneath the Agile methodology umbrella. We want to eliminate waste. What kind of waste? Waste of time, waste of steps, things like that. These are mindsets. I think not giving you enough there to help you understand that definition and give you some ways in terms of how you utilize that to help you in your growth. Hopefully that helps you to see how mindset can contribute to your career growth. So let's go over to skill set. First of all, let's define skill set. Skill set represents the abilities and knowledge that you and I possess, that we have, which are necessary to perform tasks effectively. Some of these skill set examples I can give you. You and I know that as a Scrum Master, we wear at least 4 hats. We have a teacher hat, we have a coaching hat, we have a facilitating hat, and we have a mentor hat. Now, all of those are professions on their own. Are we going to know everything? Definitely not in our lifetime. Probably not even on one of those 4 different domains. People spend their entire lives just specializing on that particular one domain. But what we can do is, in my case, I took those 4 categories and I put it in an Excel spreadsheet and a Likert scale. I put it on a spider graph. I made some columns. I put down teaching, coaching, mentoring, facilitating, and I rated myself on a Likert scale from 1 to 5. How would you rate yourself in facilitation skills? How would you rate yourself in teaching skills? How would you rate yourself in coaching skills? How would you rate yourself in mentoring skills? And when I did that self-evaluation, being self-aware with myself, I concluded that my weakest of the 4 was in facilitation. Now what? Well, the next thing I did is oftentimes what we come up with about ourselves is not 100% truth. So I wanted to validate. How did I do that? I did this on a weekend. When I went to work on Monday, I asked everybody on my Scrum team, both teams, I said, hey, I did a self-assessment over the weekend and I want you to help me out. I need some feedback from you. Yeah, okay, Scott, what you need? Regarding teaching, coaching, mentoring, facilitating, in your opinion, what will be the one I need to work on the most? By the end of the day, it was unanimous that I need to become a better facilitator. That's what I discovered about myself over the weekend, right? Exactly. So what did I do? This was over 5 years ago when I did this assessment. I didn't have this wonderful class that Scrum.org offers, the Professional Scrum Facilitation Skills class. It's a very robust class. They didn't have that when I came along. That class is just maybe a year and a half old. I researched some other things. At the time, I didn't even know that there was a facilitating body out there. I didn't even know that facilitation was a profession. I guess I should have known. I watched Grammys. I watched the Oscars. I watched TV shows, but I never really thought about those persons as facilitators. Yes. I know somebody listening to this video thinking the same thing. Oh, I didn't think about that either. Yes, they are facilitators. And if you could think about the evolution of the Scrum Master role, when I was coming into the industry, the Scrum Master was referred to as the Master of Ceremony. The facilitator role. Yes, exactly. But of course, the position has developed into what it is today. Not only are we just a facilitator, we have other skills and characteristics that we have to ensure that our teams are getting to a level of greatness. Very nice. So I researched. I wasn't looking for certifications. I was looking for a way to improve on my facilitation skill. If a certification did that for me, great. If it did not, okay. But my criteria, my definition of done is I want to learn the skill, not just certify. If I happen to get certified, great. I'm more interested in learning the skill set. Any certification I get, I'm always thinking about the skill set. Okay, if I get a certification as a result of it, great. But I want to be able to do the thing and do it very, very well. And that's when I realized, that's when I discovered they actually have a certifying body out there for facilitators. I looked at the curriculum. Based upon what I saw years ago in my research, I didn't feel like that was going to give me the opportunity to enhance and grow my skills. So what did I do next? Well, I did some more research and I remembered Toastmasters. And that's how I landed on Toastmasters. I actually joined Toastmasters because I was weak in one, facilitation. And then the second thing I was weak in out of the 4 hats that we wear was coaching. So I went to Toastmasters really to work on my facilitation, not knowing at the time that they have pathway that you can work on other things by giving speeches. And they actually have a coaching pathway. So I volunteered to be the Toastmaster for the day, which is a facilitator. And I also volunteered to go down the coaching journey. It means I have to give speeches. It's packaged coaching pathway, delivering speeches, and I get feedback on that speech. Why is that important? Because I knew back then that the fastest way to mastery is through feedback. So when you do something, you get feedback on what you did, and then you incorporate that feedback the next time you do it. Oh my, that is the fastest way to mastery. The other fastest way to mastery is to take this information that you learned today and share it with somebody else. In your mind, just sharing information, but here's technically what's happening. You're actually putting yourself in a teaching stance. Because if you know a topic good enough, you could share it with somebody in detail. You're actually putting yourself in a teaching stance. If you can do that on that level, share it intimately so that another person can understand what you are articulating. Oh, my goodness. Now it's like that's permeating throughout your entire body, making you feel more confident about the material. So that is an example of how you can get what you need and not necessarily get a certification. Toastmasters' mission is to help you become a better leader through the art of communication. Communication is a soft skill. You can't be taught communication. You can be taught a language, but in terms of being a good communicator, it's a soft skill. You just have to put yourself out there in a lot of uncomfortable situations and learn from those mistakes that we all are going to make. And that's why I like Toastmasters. We have like-minded people who are all there to do what? To be better communicators, thus becoming a better leader. We as Scrum Masters are Scrum Guide termers now as we are true leaders. That's quite vague. I like the previous version. I like servant leadership because I can sink my teeth into that. I can wrap my brain around servant leadership. I can see that. I can touch that. I can feel that. But true leader is a bit vague and relative. It's kind of like abstract art. It's in the eye of the beholder when it comes to true leader. I like servant leadership, but the Scrum Guide does says truly. So those are some things to think about there in terms of the skill set, your abilities, your knowledge that you have, that you possess, which are necessary for you to perform your task effectively. Now let's get to tool sets. Tool sets are the array of external resources and technologies that you and I use, Scrum Masters use to implement agile practices. That could be your Atlassian Jira software, your Trello board, your Scrum board, your Kanban board. Also, that could be, if you did not know, Scrum is a tool. Kanban is a tool. In my experiences of being a Scrum Master, out of these three sets, where do I see Scrum Masters stay average, we'll say, and not grow? I would say they focus too much on the tools because tools are always changing. For example, ChatGPT is hot now. Would there be something new and different? Yes, it would. Look at all the artificial intelligence apps are out now as a result of ChatGPT being the first. I can't even keep up with what's out here now. Can you? Exactly. So if you spend all your time on the tools, you might be good today. But with the technology change, then what? My strategy in terms of building great teams, too, the last thing I focus on. My approach has mostly been I am a high-touch, low-tech leader. I know what I need to know in terms of Jira and Atlassian and the tools that I need to use in my environment, but sometimes those tools can actually inhibit the team from getting where they want to be. I was talking to a Scrum Master yesterday. We posted a video on Not Scrum Dumb talking about oftentimes developers don't like the tools that they're being presented with, like your Jira and things like that. So how do I mitigate and navigate through that particular situation? Scrum Guide says the developers are the ones who track their own work. If you're going to track your own work, one of the ways of you owning your own work is to figure out the mechanism in which you're going to track your work. So if I'm telling you, you're going to have to use Jira and you don't like Jira or whatever the platform may be, you're probably not likely to track your own work. Why? Because that tool was forced down your throat and you don't like that tool. So here's what I do. Developers, what tools do you use to track your work? See how I asked that question? One, I'm making sure they understand their responsibility according to the Scrum Guide. And two, I'm making sure I foster an environment of ownership and accountability. So typically that's one of the first few questions I ask when I get on the Scrum team. Developers, what tools do y'all use to track your work? And you can read their body language and tell that whatever tool they're using, whether they like it or dislike it. So just to give you an example, we use Jira. But based upon your response, you don't really like that tool. Nah, but the company says we have to use it. Well, here's a question for you. If you can use anything in the world that you want to use to track your own work, what would that be? I promise you they have some creative, amazing, legendary ideas. But the organization or the environment may not be allowing them to come up with the tools they want, they desire, that they know what they need. We looking at it from outside in, but they're the ones doing the work. So, get your own tool. But as you creating that tool, make it so that we can give stakeholders the information they want and need in the format in which they want. Can you do that? Of course we could do that. What kind of question is that? I know you can. So I'm empowering you to create the tool that you want to create to track your own work. And my only ask is to format it in such a way that we can create a report that stakeholders can see it in the way they want to see it, how they want to see it, and boom, everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. Stakeholders getting it in the format that they like. Developers are creating something amazing. And every environment I go in, that's my strategy. I empower them to create their own tool set. If I need to know how to use it, great. If I don't, get into the weeds of a tool set. I'm in the weeds of the mindset. I'm in the weeds of my skill set, getting what I need so that I can take this team to where they need to be. The tool is not going to get us there. I promise you that. I see a lot of Scrum Masters focus on the tools. It's another tip for you. I've never created a Jira dashboard for my Scrum team. I mean, like one of them sexy dashboards where you have all kinds of metrics. I mean, it tells you everything about the team. I've never done that. Why? Because I know there's some Scrum Master in the company, somewhere probably in my department, that is just waiting to showcase how good they are at Jira and create a dashboard and all these different metrics. So I go talk to the person. Hey, John. Hey, Jill. My team wants a dashboard. Hey, can you help me create one? Typical Scott, hey, I created for you. Really? Anything I can do to repay the favor? Oh, no, Scott. Why? This person is ready to show me all about their tool set expertise. Here's what I typically tell that person after they create this wow dashboard that I know ain't going to take my team from here to the next level. I say, you know what? This is going back to episode number 1. In episode number 1, watch this. Hey, have you ever thought about being a Jira admin? You probably can make a whole lot more money than what you're doing right now. It looks like you just really love this Jira stuff, like you know all about it. You know what? I thought about that. And some of our friends who are Jira admins now came from that conversation after they did a dashboard. Oh, it was sexy now. What? You never say nothing like, but you know what? I don't use it. It looks good, sexy, it's nice. But I've never built a great team like Nanny McPhee off a tool. Never. I don't foresee ever building a great team just off tools alone. So if you're the Scrum Master focusing all on your tool, that could potentially be the problem as to why you're not moving the needle on your team, because you spend an awful lot of time tracking, coming up with dashboards, things like that. And I can get it. And in some cases, the organization mandates that you as the Scrum Master do that. Okay, let's take a step back and ask yourself, why are they asking you to do that? My belief in my experiences is that they don't trust you. Why don't they trust you? Well, let me ask you this. How many of the last 6 sprint reviews have your team delivered anything of value? I'm not talking about the PowerPoint presentation. You're supposed to be putting something in production. I'm talking about what have you actually delivered that the customer is using, touching, feeling, smelling, whatever that environment may be. What is your customer actually seeing, touching, feeling, smelling? In most cases, there's nothing. So I wouldn't trust you either because you ain't delivering anything. I'm thinking about the cost of a sprint. Math is super duper easy in Scrum. So if you have 10 people on your team, everybody making $100,000, you multiply that times 10, you get $1 million per year. Most companies do 2-week sprints. So if you divide $1 million by 26, you get what, 38,000 and some change? That is what it's costing per sprint. $38,000 that you are spending up the company's money, and all you got to show for it is a PowerPoint presentation. I wouldn't trust you either. And coming from project management world, what happens is stakeholders feel like they're helping us because behavior, the game that we're in, behavior is that when a train looks like it's going off the track, what is management and stakeholders going to do? They're going to require and request more tracking because in their mind, from their perspective, this is the way to help keep the train on the track and prevent it from derailing and crashing. But it crashes anyway, right? It does. You don't have time to get the work done before all this extra tracking. And now you got extra tracking, which is extra work. I digress. Toolset is the least one of these things that's going to get you to building a great team. Let me give you some strategies for balancing the sets. Now, the goal is not to balance the sets, because in life, things are very rarely able to be balanced. But this topic is more about you being aware that if you are more focused on the tool set than mindset, maybe you need to step back and say, let me switch this up. Okay, I've tried the tool set, I've tried the skill set. Maybe let me focus on my mindset. So that's what I mean by balancing the sets. Will they be in a perfect straight line? Absolutely not. And that's not the goal. That's not what we're trying to accomplish. But what we're trying to accomplish is you having the awareness of what you need to focus on and when, depending upon the circumstances and the situation that you're in. I like to do what is called reflective practice. Regularly, I assess where I stand with each set. Scott, how are you doing with tool sets? If I don't have that tool, I go out and get it. Scott, do you have the skill set? Thinking about coaching, teaching, facilitating, mentoring. Do you have the skill set to take this team from where they are to where they need to be? Reflective practice. We talked about, Scott, is your mindset right? Scott, is your glass half full or is your glass half empty? When you look at this team, do you believe this team is going to be great? Let me tell you something. Before I go on any team in the world, I already know before I even meet them that I'm going to build a great team. They're going to be great before I even meet them. When you have a mindset like that, it's like that bleeds throughout your body. That's you. That's who you are. So that's the importance of the mindsets. People rally around mindsets. So from time to time, I reflect back on looking, not necessarily to balance. I'm looking to calibrate it. Okay. That'd be a better word. Calibrate. Okay. I'm too high over here on tools. I need to reduce tools and focus more time over here on mindset, maybe skill set. I'm always looking at those levers, figuring out which one do I need to inspect and adapt and tweak it in such a way that moves the needle for my team. Continuous learning. That is a growth mindset, right? Oh, I'm always learning. What did you learn new today? Did you read the Scrum Guide today? Did you read the Manifesto of Agile Software Development? Let's go deeper than that. Did you read beyond the first page of the Agile Manifesto? Because that's an awful lot of information as to why it was created and a whole lot more. You gone beyond that to really read everything about the Agile Manifesto? Or you just have read the 4 values and the 12 principles years ago and you think you know it? Interesting concept. Mentorship and coaching. Hopefully you see and know of somebody out there in the world that you aspire to be like. Reach out to that person. Hey, will you mentor, coach on some different things? Thinking about feedback loops. Are you asking for feedback? And that's the fastest way to master it. So if you're not getting that feedback, yeah, we all think very highly of ourselves. I don't know about you, but typically when I look into this mirror, man, you ugly dude. I don't talk to myself like that. I know, man, you look good. That's my opinion. I think for the most part that we all think very highly of ourselves, whether it's true, false, or indifferent. So that outside feedback is key so that we have a nice balance of what we think about ourselves and what actually may be true. Yeah, I'm thinking about the Johari wonder, right? Yeah. Yeah, what we know about ourselves and what other people know about us that we don't even know ourselves. I'm thinking about practical application. So when you find something that you think might work, try it. But remember, fail fast, fail often. It's okay to fail. It's okay to make mistakes. The only way you're going to know if it's going to work is to actually try. And that's why you have events like the sprint retrospective. We tried this experiment, this sprint. It didn't work. Okay, learn from that. Should we tweak it, throw this out and do something different? What? Take it to the team and let them decide on what direction and continuous improvement for the next one. Now, let me give you some tips on maintaining harmony among the sets. Harmony. That's really what we're striving for. Harmony. Necessarily balance. Harmony. Everything is flow like it needs to be. We're looking for flow. Integrate. Don't isolate. You might be in an environment where you're using Scrum and maybe you need to add Kanban. You might be in an environment where Scrum is not the tool. Maybe you need to know Kanban. Now, that's where your tool set come into place. If you only know Scrum, then it's going to be hard for you to implement Kanban. It's going to be hard for you to implement extreme programming. I'm thinking about the Agile principle, continuous attention to technical excellence and good design enhances agility. So what if you in a developed environment and you see the code is a bit crappy? Maybe all the developers are brand new, just out of college. So what can you do to introduce to the team to maybe have better coding? You don't know coding yourself, but you know extreme programming. Why would you want to use extreme programming? Well, now you can pair people up and work together where one person can write the code, another person can check the code that they're writing it. If you know that framework, that tool, exactly. So maybe you introduce that. One way to tap into the collective intelligence of the team is, hey, what do y'all think about trying extreme programming? In this case, we got 10 developers. Hey, 2 work together. I can't imagine any team not wanting to do that. So their code is going to be more robust. But if you don't know any other tool up underneath the Agile umbrella and you never have applied it or practiced with it, then you won't be able to incorporate that into your schema of things that you can do, your skill set. That is a tool that you have observed through facilitation and mentoring and coaching and teaching. You know enough about the tool that you can teach them about the tool, but you don't know enough about technology to actually go build it. Scrum has 3 different accountabilities. Our lane is that we see something that the team could benefit from to introduce them to the tool that could help them do their job better, more efficient, more effective. That's what we're doing as Scrum Masters. So just to give you an example of that, integrate, don't isolate. Prioritize flexibility. Stay flexible with your approach. Now, this is one I see Scrum Masters fall short on too. Some Scrum Masters are all about Scrum and Agile by the book. Scrum Guide says this. Yes, the Scrum Guide says that. Now, I don't believe in meeting people where they are. But what I do believe and know is, as a Scrum Master, and if you believe in this environment, you can say something one time. I'm thinking about a parent and a child. I'm sure you've seen this. You ever seen a child ask mom and daddy for something? Mama said no. What does the child do? The child just go on about his or her business and never ask the question again? No, sometimes I've seen children that ask their mama a question. Mama said no, daddy said no. But daddy. You get the idea. So how do you make change in Scrum? You have to be relentless, like a child. You see, a child take no as not now. Yeah, you did too. We all did at once upon a time. We take no as not now. So no, I'm not going to meet people where they are. I'm going to bring people to where I am. We're leaders, right? No, I'm going to bring them to where I am. No, I'm not going, no. I ain't going down. I'm bringing you up. So thinking like a child. So maybe my delivery wasn't good. So maybe I need to tweak how I ask or what I said. They can't see what I see. They can't see it yet. That's okay. That's a delivery problem. So just like a child, I'm going to plead a case as to what I need this thing that I'm asking you for. And as a child stopped that child ultimately. And we all did this. I'm sure you got some story you're thinking of right now. Yeah, I did get that baby doll, that car, that G.I. Joe, whatever it may be. I know you've done that. You see, the skill set is already there. As a Scrum Master, we have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And you think you can just say something one time and it happens every single time. We're very delusional. No, we're going to have to repeat ourselves, and we're going to have to get creative like a child. So if you haven't been around a child in a while, I recommend that you just watch it. They ask a question, don't get what they want. They're going to come back. Well, perhaps they're going to come back. They're going to come back and ask again and again and again and again. They got a plethora of tools and techniques that they're going to use to get what they want. We all did. You have the skill set. Cross training. Maybe you're a new Scrum Master. Pair up with another Scrum Master and learn from the person. Balance time allocation. As you're working throughout your day, you have time that you're going to schedule for events. Don't forget to make time for continuous learning, time that you're looking at your skill set, having time for different things that you need for your personal development, because your personal development is directly proportional to the team development. The more you grow, the more capabilities you have, that's going to be the whole team. It goes hand in hand. I've never seen a Scrum Master stay at the same place and build a great team. I say that again. I've never seen a Scrum Master not learning, not doing any type of continuous improvement, build a great team. I've never seen it. Have you? A Scrum Master that still here, not learning, not growing, and build a great team. I've never seen that happen. Please let me know if you have, because I would love to talk to him or her. How did you do that? So, I've tried that, and it didn't work. I've seen that, and it don't work. How did you do that? Because you broke a law. And a law is applicable to everybody all the time in any situation. Measure and adjust. I like the idea what is tracked gets done. Think about it. Whatever you're tracking in your life is definitely getting done. So take that to your Scrum team. So when I think about metrics on the Scrum team, I'm thinking about what is a big bad behavior that we really need to change. And that's the thing I'm going to track, not velocity. I'm looking at the behavior. What is that behavior? I want to figure out a way of how we're going to track that so that we can know if we're getting better over time. How do we know? Let's quantify that. How can we quantify it? So those are the type of questions I'm asking there. So hopefully that was plenty for you to understand the importance of the sets, giving you the introduction of the sets, clarify the differences between the sets and how each contribute to your career growth. I give you some strategies for balancing the sets. I've even given you some tips on maintaining harmony among the sets. What are you going to do with this information? As we close out today's episode, expand your agile sets. You're equipped with the knowledge to strike the perfect balance between mindset, skill set, and tool set. This trio is your ticket to excellence, setting you apart in the agile world. With Expand Your Agile Sets, your career potential has just expanded exponentially. I hope the strategies we've covered today ignite your passion for learning and earning more. If this episode has sparked a revelation, spread the wisdom. Share the wealth of knowledge with a colleague or a friend. It's the Scrumcademy way. And if you're seeking more transformative strategies, remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more empowering content. I am your host, Grand Scrum Master Scott, and I'll be here next time to guide you through the third stepping stone of giving yourself a 100% raise. Until then, keep those agile sets balanced and aim for the extraordinary, because that's where you belong. See you in the next episode where we continue to transform ideas into action. The stars aren't the limit. They're just the beginning. Remember, you're one sprint closer to that 100% raise. Keep up the fantastic work, and I'll see you soon for more insights. And also remember, every great journey in Scrum is a series of well-executed sprints. You've just completed another. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and keep building your agile legacy with us here at Scrumcademy. And as always, be agile, do Scrum, and be super duper legendary in all of your endeavors. I'll see you in the next episode.